What's good, Liberators? Fingers here, and this is DX2 Demon Review, and today we are talking about the bestest boy, the fire doggo, guarding the gates of the Tokyo Abyss, the beast, dimensional Cerberus, a large three-headed beast from Greek mythology, guard dog of the gateway to the underworld, and often depicted with a snake for a tail. Born to the giant of wind, Typhon, and the snake Echidna. Its brother is Orthrus, another very, very good boy. A freak accident at the summoning portal caused these demons with a different appearance to appear. And let's check out what makes this fire dog so flaming. He is a physical attack, well, a fire-based physical attacker, so he's got good strength off rip, 201. Pump that up as soon as humanly possible. And he's got good agility for a demon in that heavy-hitting single target roll, starting off at 176. And again, I highly recommend you pump that up to the max as soon as possible. Strength, agility, 20 mitamas in both, no exceptions. It has to be done. Just do it. Throw that last 10 into either luck or vitality, whatever is your want. But the strength and agility are non-negotiable. Gotta have them. Get them. Do it however you can. And sin infuse that agility if you can, because this boy needs to roll fast as can be. So you could get his agility to, what will it cap out at, 216 if you go run wild with it, which for a heavy hitter is pretty darn good. Nulls physical, useless, drains fire, okay, weak to ice, be aware. The skills for the transferable: fire amp, 25% boost of fire damage, thematically appropriate and fantastic to have built in to the three-headed doggo. For his first unique skill, the Hellhound adds physical pierce, boom shakalaka. Activates the following chain effect: when a press turn icon is lost due to an enemy skill, i.e. intimidating stance, receive one additional press turn icon, i.e. negating intimidating stance, and reduces attack and defense of all enemies by 20% for 3 turns. And for those of you clever viewers who are paying attention, this is basically a giant middle finger to all the hyper Beelzebubs out there, as they will intimidating stance you and boost their own defense in the process when they do that. So this basically knocks down a good portion of a slow rolling Uber Beels team's defenses, and it is fantastic and simply wonderful to behold when it happens. This chain effect can only be activated once per battle, so those double intimidating stance teams are still going to get you once. You only get to negate one of them, but you can make that work to an exceptional degree. And if you level up Hellhound, you will boost his accuracy, capping out at plus 20% to his accuracy, which, if you're going to run this guy, I highly recommend you do. His unique skill is fire-based, but it can miss, just like a physical skill, so his accuracy needs to be impeccable, as his unique skill is a multi-hit skill. Speaking of which, his other unique skill, Hell Blaze. Oh god, that's a lot of text, but we're going to power through it. Inflicts fire, physical-based damage 3 times, power of 50, total of 150, with a 30% crit rate on a single enemy, and gains 1 boost level for each skill. So baseline, he will triple tap fire attack, a single target, 30% crit rate, not bad. You use this skill once and you get boost level 1, which tacks on this wonderful little addition. Activates the following chain effect when the attack is successful. Inflicts fire physical damage 3 times, power of 30, total 90, with a 30% crit rate on all enemies. So you will strike your target 6 times and anyone left standing 3 times with your fire-based physical crit potential attack, and that is just wonderful. Just absolutely amazing, as If you are going to run him, you're running him on a fast team, and you want him ideally to be able to act twice in that first round. And if you got some other heavy hitters rolling with him, that means by the time his turn comes back around, you have softened the enemy team up quite a bit. And now his Hellblaze has 1 boost level on it, which will multi-hit everyone on screen. Meaning, if any of them have Enduring Souls, even if they have 2 or 3 of them, as some demons are built in with these days, this can triple tap or 6 times tap whoever you need to and wipe those clean off the map. So it is a fantastic skill, and it's crazy when that boost level gets going. And for boost level 2, though I can't imagine anyone will ever reach this level of boosting, increases crit rate, chain effect included, to 80%. So 30% to 80% crit rate, fantastic. Although fairly useless, because you can crank up demons' natural critical hit rates up. I mean, if you build this guy right, if he's running with like Kardikea, who all increases your critical hit potential, if you're running him with someone like Zana as your DX2, who increases your crit rate, you can have him just critting off rip. Boost level 0. He can be hitting those crits. The big money is in that boost level 1 and doing everything you can to try and get him to be able to double tap in that turn 1 team. The power of this skill is dependent on physical attack. Make a note of it. Skill will have Fire Pierce effect. Boom shakalaka the second. And this skill has a chance of having a critical effect or a miss. That's why we need that agility, why you need to level up that accuracy in his Hellhound skill. And counter effects do not work on this skill. And now, the crucial leveling up of this skill boosts the damage by 20%. It's a hefty one. It's got 6 levels, but that 6th level will get you that crucial MP cost -1 to this skill, bringing it down to 5 MP, which means you have some options here. If you want to ensure the double tap round 1, which I personally think is the most viable option, Divine Brands. He needs those Divine Brands. It's not going to be as good as having those War Brands on him for the single first hit, but having that second hit available on your turn 1 team, if you can get Cerberus double tapping on your turn 1 team, it is going to be brutality incarnate. And it is the reason that this doggo is the very bestest of boys. Pet your dogs, folks. Always pet your dogs. For the archetype skill, got him in Psychic for Epitome of Finesse, which I believe is a new one that came in with Cerberus here, so a very unique skill. I could be wrong, there are so many epitomes now I lose track, but this one works with him just famously. Plus 20% to critical hit rate, plus 15% to physical hit rate, everything a growing doggo needs, so get some of that. And for his transferables, I've got him with, to no one's shock and awe, Speedster, and also a basic plain-faced fire boost for an additional 15% to fire damage. The Fire Survivor would be amazing for this guy. You know the type. Fire enhancement would be just fabulous. Master Assassin would work for Hellblaze, but it would only work for the initial attack and not the chain effect attack, so you're better off using skills that increase the fire damage. As for branding, as we discussed, I personally think you go with those Divine Brands and those Speed Brands, but you might want to swap out the Speed Brands for Lead Brands if you're trying to get him to be your primary double tap specialist, because when I ran him, he was the slowest among my speedsters. He's got good agility for a heavy hitter, but a heavy hitter's agility on a speedster team means they're going last. And he was last. I only was able to double tap with him, or I only needed to double tap with him a few times since I've been using him. So it's rare that he actually got to double tap on my speedster team. But the good news is, when he needed to, he ended the fight. Like, the good news is, we didn't even need to get to him to finish the fight. Even though I really, really want to, because I love to see it. So bear that in mind. That right there is an argument for war brands. If you're running a fast team and you find that Cerberus, generally speaking, is only acting once per battle, you might want to consider the war brands, although those undead Alices are gonna gimp you if you take that route. So divine brands, speed brands, lead brands, war brands, take your pick. As for the panels, panel 1, plus 20% to physical hit rate, plus 20% to max HP. Both things he desperately needs. He's got a multi-hit attack that can miss. If you miss in PvP, you're done. Game over. So get some of that. And plus 20% to his max HP to help with those cheap shot demons, your dimensional certs, your Moray sisters. Always a welcome addition. Panel 2 reduces the cost of Hellblaze by 1 MP, bringing it down to the low cost of 4 MP, meaning you could swap out those divine brands for war brands and just roll without a care in the world. And that's pretty dang amazing. Although I wish that this included reduces fire damage by 50%. Because a lot of demons, a lot of the fusible demons have that mid panel that's just fire damage, ice damage reduced by 50%. Sticking it to the people who can pierce through things, they still get that reduction. And since this guy is just a counter to intimidating stance demons, it would have been a nice FU to dimensional cert as well as Uber Beals if it had that minus 50% fire damage. Haha, get wrecked, dimensional cert. But alas, maybe someday in panel 4. And as for panel 3, plus 20% to physical and fire damage, and plus 20% to critical hit rate. Good lord, you can spike this boy's natural critical hit rate up to just a ridiculous degree without even having to rely on brands or any of the tertiary skills there. Just that natural inborn crit rate can go through the moon. He is truly the bestest of the boys. And before I begin to gush over who is by far and away my favorite doggo in the SMT universe, let's check out these other archetypes, see what he's got for the Aragami. Hades Blast, good boy here, has physical pierce built in, so this will physically pierce through enemies. Why you would use this over Hellblaze? I mean, if your speedster team is just sweep, and you plan on just sweeping them down, hey, this is a viable option. He's got the physical pierce. This is set in the archetype slot, so it only costs 5 MP. You can pop this off turn 1 with war brands, double tap it with divine brands. So there is something to be said here, and you can boost this thing's damage up to 17%. No minus MP cost leveling it up, but 17% more physical damage ain't never a bad thing. And the Protector archetype, Solar Prosperity, another strong contender. Activates the Falling Chain effect when attacking first at the beginning of battle. Increases own party's attack and evasion and accuracy by 20%. If your speedy team is lacking in those auto skills, this is the one for you. Getting these on there, locking down that physical attack so you don't miss is crucial. And in order to do that, basically having Secunda on your enemies, Sukakaja on you is a requirement. If you're running physical, you gotta ensure those are up and running before you do anything. Otherwise, everything gets your stability will take a big hit. So this is another strong one to think about right here. I run him with Hiro Masakato. Hiro Masakato takes care of the attack buff and the Sukakaja Secunda all in one go. So I rely on him for this situation right here, but it never hurts to have this in your back pocket should you need it, depending on the team you run. Psychic epitome of finesse. The finesse, as they call it, which we discussed. And the big loser of the group, no ice. No one cares. I don't care if it covers up his weakness. He is a speedster demon. He doesn't worry about taking hits. He worries about bringing the pain. His fangs are sharp, and he wants to bite someone. He doesn't care how badly they bite back. And that's all I got for the three-headed doggo with the tongues of flame. And I love this design. My first demon in DX2 was actually the 4-star Cerberus, which I still have to this day because I wasn't about to fuse him away. I'm not a monster, but it always bothered me that Cerberus only had one head, and it's nice to see the true incarnation of the fire dog finally come to life. So, without further ado, I'm going to wrap this up. Have a good one, Liberators. Don't get captured.